the Spanish people seem to be like very accommodating. They're like, oh my God, you're really learning our language. Wow, come, I'll help you. I'll help you. Follow me. Amigos y amigas, mi nombre es Don, or is it me llamo es Don, and I am doing this video because at the end of December I just came up with this crazy idea to just start learning a different language. I decided to pick Spanish. And why did I decide to pick Spanish? I don't know. I just wanted something exciting to do, and I think I've always had this desire to learn Spanish, and I started doing a bunch of different research to see what was the best tool to use. Should I go have a tutor, or should I buy books? Should I do videos on YouTube? And everything I saw kind of pointed me toward an app called Duolingo. So I downloaded the Duolingo app and I started using it on a daily basis, because to get benefit out of the tool, you have to use it on a daily basis. So I've been using it on a daily basis consistently. And today is day number 59 that I've been using the app. If I do one more exercise on the app, it takes me to day 60. So I want to answer the question for you: in 60 days of using Duolingo, can I speak Spanish? If you're new to my channel, just click like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's just jump right in. This is a little different from what I typically do on my channel, but it's going to help me with the content on my channel because I do hiking and outdoor stuff or whatever, and I want to start broadening my horizons, probably going to Puerto Rico, Mexico, places like that. And I want to have some kind of proficiency so that if I walk into a restaurant or I encounter someone, I could have a somewhat decent interaction with that person. Hence why I kind of wanted to learn Spanish. So I have the Duolingo app on my cellular phone, and we're going to jump in and I'm going to walk you through what the app looks like. So if you have never seen or used Duolingo before, I'll kind of briefly explain it at a high level, and then we're going to do one exercise so I can get to my 60-day quest of using the Duolingo app, and then I'll answer the question, can I speak Spanish? So let's just jump right into this. Now, before we jump into how I use the app, let me explain the app a little for you. I know some of you may have been using Duolingo. Some of you are looking to use Duolingo. So let me start from a very basic of how the app works. So looking at the UI for the app, across the top, I have a flag, a Spanish flag with the number 15 next to it. And what does this 15 represent? And I'm close to 16. So if I were to click this more about score, this is a measure of how I'm progressing as I learn Spanish. So I started off at 0, no competency whatsoever. I knew absolutely nothing about the language. I did Spanish in high school, but the only words that I remember from the Spanish class were gracias and de nada. Other than that, nothing. This is base level, total blank slate starting the language. So I started 0 when I started the app. I think there's an assessment at the start, and I started using the free version of the app. What I did not like about the free version is that there were a lot of ads. So every 2 or 3 lessons, you have to watch some really annoying ads. I think they kind of use those ads to drive you to get the paid subscription, the super version, so to speak. What I liked about the free version was it was enough to kind of get me hooked to know that, okay, I can continue using the app. So it wasn't all bad with the free version. It's enough to let you see that, okay, there's value in the app. And then you get the super. I'll put the price that I paid for it. It wasn't that expensive. And then you can get a family plan if you want, but you can also go up to a max version where you can interact with AI tools. I don't have a need for that just yet. But anyway, I started off 0 and I got up to 10 within a month or so. And then I moved on to 15. And when I started off at absolute 0, the expectation is I should be able to have conversations like they have on the screen. Nosotros somos de la ciudad. We are from the city. Quien usa pantalones verdes? Who wears green pants? And puedo traer el menú, por favor. Can you bring the menu, please, por favor? So yeah, this is kind of where I am. I'm learning as we go along. let me get out of here. Across the top to the right of the 15, there's a number 59. That's my streak. That's how the consecutive days that I've been in the app using it. To the right of that, there's some diamonds, 116. So as you do exercises and stuff, the app has a gamification aspect to it. It's kind of like Candy Crush. So as you perform tasks, you get rewarded. You get rewarded here in like gems, and then you can use those gems to like extend your training time, or if you want to be away from the app for a day or two, you can use it to buy freezes and stuff like that. And then the very last thing is, because I have the subscription model, I have access to certain items. I can turn on and off certain features. I'm not going to go into that in here. At the very bottom, there's a home screen. If I go to the home screen, it shows me where I am on my learning path. To the right of the home screen, there is a section that shows my daily quests and monthly quests. So today I have to do 3 lessons, get 5 in a row, and then complete the section. To the right of that, there are practices. There's a dumbbell, and inside of that, there are practices. To the right of that, the app tries to put you into leagues, like-minded people who are learning the tool. It kind of makes it competitive with you and them. So last week I was in a league. I'll try to find the name of it, but I finished number 2. And this week I am leading this league, and I want to win. I'm going to win, because when you win, you get points and stuff like that. Okay. I have a profile card, and as you can see on the profile card, I have an avatar that kind of looks like me. The head is a little too flat, but it kind of looks like me. And this kind of shows where I am as I progress through the app. If I have friends and stuff, it shows me my friends. 59-day streak, 49,000 experience points. I'm in the Obsidian League this week, and my Spanish score is 15. And then the very last icon is like a feed that kind of shows you announcements. So last week I finished top 3 in the league that I was in. I actually finished number 2. The person who finished number 1 must have been on the app 24 hours for the 7 days that he was using it. But I'm not mad. But so let's jump in and do an exercise. I had started it. My camera died, so I had to start all over again. So I'm going to be doing pretty much everything. Now I can continue on my path. Before I do that, let me show you how this app is kind of laid out. So looking at my phone, there are 8 sections. The lessons is broken up into 8 sections, and each section has units. There are a total of 286, I think, units, with about 7,280 lessons and activities throughout the entire app. So there's a lot of learning in this app. Does it make you a very proficient Spanish speaker? I don't think so. In order to gain proficiency, you need to speak to people who speak the language. So that's something I haven't done yet. I've used it kind of sparingly when I've been out ordering food and stuff. You know, I've been saying something like, donde es agua, or something like that. You know, where's the water, or something, you know, basic. And what I've noticed is that when you use Spanish in an establishment with Spanish people, unlike the French, the Spanish people seem to be like very accommodating. They're like, oh my God, you're really learning our language. Wow, come, I'll help you. Follow me. You know, or you use it in a restaurant and suddenly you get free stuff. You get guacamole with your salsa and chips. Learn Spanish, guys. You get free stuff. But getting back on track, Section 1 is to get you the very basic Spanish. Starts with essential phrases and grammar concepts, but you should be able to communicate saying stuff like, soy de la ciudad de Mexico, hablo español, I'm from the city of Mexico, or Mexico, I'm from Mexico City and I speak Spanish, stuff like that. Section 2, which is where I am right now. Again, this is where you learn words, phrases, grammar concepts for basic interactions. So like if I go and I'm you know, un vaso de agua, por favor, I want a glass of water, you know, something like that. So you can kind of use it. So for Section 2, pretty much the same thing. You got to learn different grammar concepts. Este carro, this car, ese carro, that car, aquel carro. that car as well over there. So stuff like that. And then you go through the sections, and the section 8 takes you up to a higher proficiency of Spanish speaking, but you're not going to be very, very proficient. You would be proficient enough to ask for directions, to order stuff, and interact with people. But to get real proficiency, you would have to like enroll in advanced Spanish classes and interact with people, which is what I have to do. So I am in section 2. Unit 13, and I'm close to completing Unit 13. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things to do. I'm not going to do all of that on this video because I know you guys have lives to do and whatever. I'll finish my quests offline, but I'm going to do a lesson with you. So I'm going to click the little dumbbell and I'll show you what the lessons are. My trick is if I'm pressed for time and I don't want to lose my streak, I go in and do a lesson. I try not to do the mistakes because as you're doing the exercises, if you make mistakes, the app makes you do it over and over and over until you get it right. The words is like word identification. It shows the word in Spanish. You get the correct answer in English, etc. Listen, I don't use that too much because some of the voices in the app are annoying, so I just kind of ignore them. And then speak is where they put words on the screen in Spanish and you have to repeat it, so it builds on your ability to speak Spanish. I'm going to do the words because I love doing these. It kind of helps with retention and embedding the words in my brain. The other thing that I do is as I'm doing my lessons, I have un libro con mi bolígrafo, and I take notes in the book. So as I encounter new words, I write them, escribo en mi libro, these new words. Okay, so I'm trying to learn, guys. I'm trying to learn. I'm showing you that I'm building proficiency. I'm not up there just yet, but I'm getting there. So I'm gonna click on words, and then it brings up, the app says that I've learned 468 words. I think it's a lot more because I've written probably 10 to 15 pages in my book. But I'm going to go ahead and click start, and then it starts an exercise. The exercise is a combination of word association, and then there's one lesson where I hear voices saying something to me and I have to identify the English word for whatever they said. Because the voices here might be copyrighted, I can't play them for you, so I'll just repeat it and then I'll pick the right thing. Okay, so these I will do estos, my, mis, to leave, salir, yo, tus, we, nosotros. Okay, so this is where I have to listen, I have my earbuds in. Abuelo, grandfather. Tus, we. No, tus, yo. Okay, sorry. Wow, I'm sorry. You make mistakes. Nosotros is we. Salir is to leave. Tren is train. Baño is the bathroom. Padre is my father. Mama is mom. Miss is my. Abuela is grandmother. El is... Let me hear that again. En? En? I think so. Estes is these. Italiano, Italian. Sometimes when they speak, it's kind of hard, so you have to kind of... Did you say in or el or something? I don't know. I guessed it right. Okay, so now we're going back to the matching pairs. Supermarket is supermercado. Important, importante. These, estos, my, mis, friends, amigo, we. Nosotros, big, grandes. To read, leer, to leave, salir, we, nosotros, dress is vestido, of the is del, students is estudiantes, boring, is aburrido, always, is siempre, university, universidad, grandmother is abuela, for, para, your, tus, desk, escritorio, to write, escribir. So, I finished one lesson. And because I did this one lesson and I scored like 98%, I made a mistake. I'm human, forgive me. I click on claim experience and then I get this nice little graphic and it shows that I have my 60-day streak. I still have to complete my lessons though, but my camera died whilst I was doing the thing. Now this is pretty good. When you do the lessons, you kind of get bonus points that can get you like higher up in the rankings up here as you go through the leagues. So if I go home, actually go here, you see my score went up to 4083. So the question that everyone has been wanting to know is, can I speak Spanish? I can say Spanish words. I'm still trying to phrase them properly, making sure that I use the right construct, like yours or you eat or something like that. There's I eat, which is como, and he or she eats, which is come, and you eat, which is comes with the S. So trying to get all those things kind of constructed and right. I'm still struggling through it. And now we're doing stuff like nosotros, we eat. So nosotros comemos and stuff like that, trying to get those. So I can't speak Spanish. I'm not fluent. I'm still struggling with the double L's, the C-A-L-L-E, calle, or is it calle or calle? I'm trying to figure out the right pronunciation. Ilya or Ilya, which one is it? Then there are some things like para and por. You can use both of them for four, and the app really doesn't explain why I should use one versus the other. Papa versus padre, I use the word coche. I've heard people say coche for car, and then the app wants you to say carro with 2 R's, so it's like, okay, why, what am I missing? And then if you don't phrase it properly, so if I say carro instead of carro, it's like carro is expensive, carro is car, and it's like, oh my God, I have to really enunciate the R to make sure I differentiate it, and I don't have a human element telling me whether I'm saying it right or not. As I do the speaking exercises in the app, it might say, well, repeat this phrase, and I say it, and it kind of sounds okay, but the app doesn't say, no, you should have enunciated. Like, bebe can be, he drinks. Okay, but then bebe is baby, so that kind of stuff is kind of tough to kind of get without the human element. So can I speak Spanish after 60 days of using Duolingo? The answer is poco. Little, very, very little Spanish. I can say some phrases. I can construct simple sentences. I might be able to order simple stuff at a restaurant. If I'm at a supermarket, I might be able to ask simple, basic questions and say stuff. I can say stuff like buenos días, buenas tardes, ¿cómo se llama? ¿Cómo está usted? Stuff like that. Basic, phrases when you say you meet people and stuff like that. If you want to ask for directions, it gets a little tricky, but I'm learning. I'm enjoying the process. Duolingo makes it fun to learn Spanish. It is best to start off with the super. If you want to investigate, yes, start off with the free version, put up with the ads, and then go on to get the super. I don't know if you need the max. I don't know how good interacting with AI is, since the app doesn't really correct my pronunciation. So I would just stick to the super and then try to find a Spanish friend. Try to talk to them and say, hey man, am I saying this correctly? Am I saying aburrido? Is it correct when I say aburrido or triste? Or, necesitamos, am I saying it correctly? Correct me. Make me proficient, my friend. So with that being said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please come back to the channel for my other content, my hiking, my waterfalls, my off-roading stuff. And I will be providing updates as we go along. I think I have to hit day 75 before I get some kind of award. So I'll do another video on day 75 to kind of show you what award I got. And my name is Don. You've been watching my channel, The Bitter Hiker. Like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. I don't know how to say peace in Spanish. I'll learn that. Peace.